Anti-Afro Svengalis. I am just getting around to some clips that were sent to me over the last couple of days. And I really wanted to make sure I came on here to address one pretty disgusting and rancid, continuing to be abusive lie. And that lie was spun by none other than the biggest fraud here in these YouTube streets and blocks, and that is Dempsey. Legal name, Dempsey Spears. You might know him as D. Durrell. He has a license strike for stealing money from Medicare. And he has gone around for the last 4 years engaging in all types of atrocities. Yes, they include sexual harassment. I'm not talking about what happened in the last year. I'm talking about what's happened since we came onto YouTube around 2018. He's been doing the same thing. He has been lying. And let you hear the latest lie that he told. Stay tuned and I will return.
Look, I know she on your channel chilling, but she got so many lawsuits. She cannot afford all of them. She got lawsuits with like 9 different people. Like, she need to stop. I don't know what she's trying to accomplish. But the main one she should be concerned about is the one with Catherine Brown and the one with what's the chicken on the East Coast.
My name is Annie Storm. Oh Lord.
Now, who you heard at the end was Stargate. Stargate was on the panel when Dempsey was telling this lie. So she was just responding to somebody in the chat. And you heard what I heard. This is the reason why Dempsey is getting his ass up out of here. Because we have decided, when I say we, me and others, enough is enough. We never said we were going to put up with Dempsey's lies. And the biggest lie he has told, among the biggest lies he has told, 9 lawsuits. As you can see, he's never once produced any of those lawsuits. He's never shown you any of those lawsuits. He is a liar, and that is why he's getting his ass up out of here, because we had enough of him. And we said we were not going to back down. You're not going to get up here on a public forum and spread lies about it. He's angry. He's pissed. Why is he pissed off? Because every single lie he told on me was truth about him. He kept telling you all before he was disciplined formally, before you knew about it. Because remember, in Texas, they don't even tell you the person is being disciplined in terms of an investigation, like the process. They don't tell you any of that. And I think that's a law that needs to be changed. In this state, your accusation goes up on the board while they're investigating. When I say investigating, when they find that there is a law put forth that you've been accused of violating and they find there is potential merit, that means an investigation is going to move forward. In Texas, they don't do that. They only will put it on the board if they decide the person has violated the law. In this state, you don't get that luxury. Your name goes up on the board. So all these lies he's been telling about me, that I sexually harassed some dude, that my business was almost shut down, that I had another business almost shut down, I got 9 lawsuits. It just goes on and on. That's slander. So now he's engaging in slander again, which is why I refuse to back down. He is not going to get up here on YouTube and tell lies about me, and I'm going to be quiet about it. Specifically, slander. Yes, over the last 4 years, Dempsey Spears has engaged in sexual harassment towards me, towards Rev G, and other people. We have it documented. I don't care if he tries to send some cease and desist letter. A cease and desist letter is not enforceable. A cease and desist letter tells people demanding or expecting you to stop telling lies on people. There are no lies told on Dempsey that have come out of my mouth. He is 100% trash for him to get up here and tell people that I have 9 lawsuits. You're full of shit. And he knows he's full of shit. That's why he's breaking and running. He's breaking and running from here because we stated, just like with Let Me See Your Handcuffs, you can get up here on the internet and lie on people. We're going to get up here and make sure the truth is told. We're going to make sure that the outcome of what we're seeking, it's going to be reported. Just like he got in trouble with the formal written warning to stop diagnosing people online. I'm speaking specifically about me, a formal written warning from the licensing board in Texas for him to stop rendering diagnoses. How are you rendering diagnoses on someone you don't even know? He was pissed because he was under fire, lying and being caught up in the bullshit that he decided to do. And we know he was disciplined with a formal strike on his license because he stole money from Medicare. And he took therapist billing numbers and submitted billing on services he didn't provide. And he got caught doing that. So he has a strike on his license. I'm posting the document again down at the bottom that comes straight from the website. He has a formal disciplinary strike on his license, and he's pissed because he got up here and kept telling people that he had a date with the licensing board here in California, that I was in trouble. And lies, people. I don't even care if whoever decides to, whatever they do, believe his bullshit. I know he's lying, and I'm going to come on here. I'm going to make sure everybody is fully aware that Dempsey Spears is lying straight to his teeth. He can't be trusted. He's not allowed to supervise any person who's working towards earning a license as a counselor because he's deemed to be not trustworthy, unethical. Yes, unethical when you submit billing claiming you provided services and the clients in question are saying they're disputing that you provided those services and you used other people's billing information. Nowhere in this complaint does it mention anything about someone used billing as a clerical error that he was trying to say was an administrative error. No one else was mentioned in this complaint except for Dempsey. Why? Because he did it himself. Dempsey Spears is the one who defrauded Medicare. Pure and simple. If someone else doesn't care about what Dempsey does, that's their business. I care. Other people care. And we're not going to allow him to do what he's doing. So that's why he's getting all freaked out. It isn't my concern. I don't know about what anybody else is doing specifically. I'm referring to me and the people that I work with, what we're doing. And he wants to be all coy when he talks about the complaint I have pending. But he wants to come and tell lies and give my name specifically, but he's not telling you the agency that is investigating him. Why is that? Why is that? You think about that. But he wants to run up here and tell lies on me. Oh, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to report what he stated. I don't want to hear anything about somebody saying, oh my God, you're going after a black business. Oh my God. I don't care about any of that. I don't need people to defend me because he's been doing all this shit this entire time. And how many people stood up and said, that's messed up? Very few people. So he's not getting any of my sympathy. I'm going to advance and protect my rights, my legal rights against being slandered, literally slandered by him saying I have 9 lawsuits against me. You are a damn lie and you know it. You can never prove any such thing in a court of law. 9 lawsuits. There is 1 federal lawsuit in court. I'm not even worried about that. No lie is going to do anything to me. I'm going to fight against any and every lie that's told. That's the bottom line. He's breaking and running because he knows he's full of shit. 9 lawsuits. Where are the 9 lawsuits? You Lying-Azz. Garbage. It's just plain garbage. And I can't believe he's actually saying that he's going to go off and do what? Better than Umar Johnson. You know the disaster going on with Umar Johnson. But I will make sure that people are very much aware of what happens with this pending complaint. I'm not going to give you the name of the agency. It is not the licensing board. It is another agency, and I made it clear earlier. I have mentioned the name before, and I followed through with what I stated. I mean, there's no way in hell the things that he is saying, the things that Dempsey has said, there is no way that he can provide services in that arena. It is absolutely derelict and irresponsible if anybody allows him to do that. People will be placed at risk. I am not expressing any concern about what happens to Dempsey financially. Why should I have any concern about that? His livelihood is not priority over him violating my rights. Violating my rights is important to me, and getting that addressed is important to me. If somebody doesn't want their livelihood messed up, disrupted, They should learn how to keep their mouth shut and stop lying on people, stop slandering people, stop referring to other people's spouses and girlfriends sexually. That is sexual harassment. Stop referring to me in a sexual manner. That is sexual harassment. His race attacking, calling me a white woman, calling me a fat, greasy Mexican. Listen, he is offending and discriminating against these groups of people that he keeps saying that I am. He's doing that, going around YouTube typing messages that I'm a white person. You know what? This is the same kind of crap we have in this federal case. Again, you are going to be buried by your own lies. You're doing it yourself. Buried by your own lies. He has nobody to blame but himself. I don't owe him any special protection. I don't have to back off because he's a black man. Didn't give a damn that I'm a black woman. He said whatever he wanted about me and tries to lie and say I'm a white woman. If I was white, your ass would have been arrested. You would have been put in jail by now for your criminal harassment. But let me tell you something. I didn't file a restraining order against him. Why? Because I'm letting you see right here. He's got no control. I am going to address this. I'm not spending a single dime. I am not spending a single dime to initiate anything against Dempsey. I am going to make these agencies do their job. That's the bottom line. And then maybe I'll consider a civil suit against Dempsey. But for now, I'm going to lean on all of these agencies that he's dealing with, and they're going to make sure they take care of business. This is for the protection of the community. Nobody gives a crap about a so-called therapist who doesn't care about the public. How can someone care about the public if he runs around race attacking? You know what he said about, let me see your handcuffs? He said that she has a nose like a vacuum cleaner. Is that not a race attack? It has nothing to do with how I feel about, let me see your handcuffs. It's got nothing to do with it. That's a race attack. He makes those types of comments. These are comments that he makes. He very specifically identifies the person, then attacks them based on race, gender, national orientation, what he perceives to be their sexual orientation, tells straight up lies, saying people are gay, they're gay and they're married and they have children. This is harassment, and it's gone on for 4 years. I am not going to sit here and lose sleep over Dempsey being concerned about his future. He didn't care about anybody else's future. He didn't care how anybody else was impacted by what he was doing and what he was saying. So we just sat back and let him continue to do what he was doing without prompting. Nobody brought up my name, and here he is bringing up my name and lying, saying I have 9 lawsuits. Well, we will see when Dempsey is unable to produce proof of those 9 lawsuits. And people, I hope you didn't think for one second that Gerald Palmer has forgotten about all of those horrendous, verbally abusive, and sexually harassing comments that Dempsey made directed towards Gerald and Gerald's wife. Just because Gerald didn't come up here hollering and screaming, which is what they wanted, every time those statements were made, doesn't mean those statements weren't captured. And to all of you, I don't even want to, they're not men. I don't want to call them men. To all the males, chronological adult males, who are running around talking about Gerald Palmer is so sensitive and he can't take a joke. Do you notice how they don't include their wives and girlfriends in these jokes? If this was such a joke, all of this crap was such a joke, why aren't you using each other's wives and girlfriends and making all these sexual references to them? Why aren't you getting together in a circle and referring to each other in the manner you have referred to Gerald Palmer? Why, if it's a joke? Why not turn your jokes on each other? Why not include your own families in these jokes? Because we knew what they're trying to do. It's called sexual harassment. It's called criminal harassment. And someone with the freaking license, with the mental health license, is identifying people by name and sexually harassing them. I don't give a damn who cries and whines about people are overreacting and people are sensitive. You don't have your families as a subject of these jokes. And I'm not even going to mention people's names because this is what they want. They want you to mention their name. They want to be able to jump up and talk about it. They don't have their wives and girlfriends and children. Their children aren't being targeted. They're not offering their children up as a sacrifice. They're not posting their wives, their girlfriends, their families. They're not posting their pictures among each other and laughing at each other and saying, oh, your wife is ugly and your daughter is this and your son is that. They're doing it to other people. That's called harassment. That's called abuse. If you get together in a circle and decide you're going to abuse each other and you agree on it, you agree on it. Gerald Palmer never gave me permission to sexually harass him or his wife. And this is the time that has now come that he has to deal with what he did. Now, people, let me just tell you this. What I suspect other people have filed complaints with the licensing board. I don't have a complaint pending with the licensing board, and neither does Gerald, and neither does anyone that I'm aware of. Remember the last time he didn't tell you all that he was under investigation. We posted the disciplinary action, Anti-Fraud Warriors did. He never mentioned it. So who knows what's going on with the state of Texas and that licensing board. He wondered about me and tries to lie and say I'm a white woman. If I was white, your ass would have been arrested. You would have been put in jail by now for your criminal harassment. But let me tell you something. I didn't file a restraining order against him. Why? Because I'm letting you see right here. He's got no control. I am going to address this. I'm not spending a single dime. I am not spending a single dime to initiate anything against Dempsey. I am going to make these agencies do their job. That's the bottom line. And then maybe I'll consider a civil suit against Dempsey. But for now, I'm going to lean on all of these agencies that he's dealing with, and they're going to make sure they take care of business. This is for the protection of the community. Nobody gives a crap about a so-called therapist who doesn't care about the public. How can someone care about the public if he runs around race attacking? You know what he said about, let me see your handcuffs? He said that she has a nose like a vacuum cleaner. Is that not a race attack? It has nothing to do with how I feel about, let me see your handcuffs. It's got nothing to do with it. That's a race attack. He makes those types of comments. These are comments that he makes. He very specifically identifies the person, then attacks them based on race, gender, national orientation, what he perceives to be their sexual orientation, tells straight up lies, saying people are gay, they're gay and they're married and they have children. This is harassment, and it's gone on for 4 years. I am not going to sit here and lose sleep over Dempsey being concerned about his future. He didn't care about anybody else's future. He didn't care how anybody else was impacted by what he was doing and what he was saying. So we just sat back and let him continue to do what he was doing without prompting. Nobody brought up my name, and here he is bringing up my name and lying, saying I have 9 lawsuits. Well, we will see when Dempsey is unable to produce proof of those 9 lawsuits. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this fool who doesn't have enough sense to keep his mouth closed when it should be closed. But I tell you what I will do for sure. Make sure you remain updated on what goes down. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.